this be your prayer this morning. Speak, O Lord, as we come to you to receive the food of your holy word. Take your truth, plant it deep in us, shape and fashion us in your likeness, that the light of Christ might be seen today in our acts of love and our deeds of faith. Speak, O Lord, and fulfill in us all your purposes for your glory. Teach us, Lord, full obedience, holy reverence, true humility. Test our thoughts and our attitudes in the radiance of your purity. Cause our faith to rise, cause our eyes to see your majestic love and authority. Words of power that can never fail, let their truth prevail over unbelief. Speak, O Lord, and renew our minds. Help us grasp the heights of your plans for us. Truths unchanged from the dawn of time that will echo down through eternity. And by grace we'll stand on your promises, and by faith we'll walk as you walk with us. Speak, O Lord, till your church is built and the earth is filled with your glory. You may be seated.
Good morning and welcome to Pathway Church, especially to you fathers, to you visitors, and you visiting fathers. If you're a visitor, in our bulletin you will find an information sheet. Please fill that out and put that in the offering plate as it comes around later in the service, at the end of the service. And also if you're a kid and you're filling out a children's bulletin today, Mr. Matt is not here, and so if you want your candy, you have to go to Ellie. At Pathway, we have a mission, and we work to live out that mission each and every day, not just here on Sunday. And that mission, if everyone who is here will recite it with me, is on the path to a Jesus way by focusing on God, walking with Him, each other, supporting each other's walk with God, and world, sharing our walk with God with others. One way we work to live out that mission is through scripture memory. And so if you would also recite with me our scripture memory verse for this month, it is Hebrews 12, 1 through 2.
Therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders
Now, if you will sing with us and join us in the praise band.
All right, why don't you stand and we'll sing it together. Please be seated.
Am I on? All right, there we go. We have a children's sermon each Sunday. Oh, you got it right there. Perfect. Okay, so Emma brought me a lunchbox, and here's the deal. Together as a church, we're reading through topics this year. So we have a topic this week is walking with God, and so we have a reading for each day of the week. And if you're new here and you'd like to join us, there are booklets right there by the doorway on the box. As you're heading out for coffee afterwards, you can grab one of those and you can join us in our reading track, and you can be on the same page as we are. And so what I ask the kids to do is to take home the box and try to put some object in there that they think has to do with the topic of the week. And the topic of the week, as I said, is walking with God. And so here I have, Emma brought me the lunchbox, and in the lunchbox I have to figure out what it is and see if I can figure out why they put that object in the box. And I have to be careful because sometimes things jump out of you. It's not a pet? Thanks, Max. All right. Oh, look at that. Hey, you know what? I used these this week. Oh, that's cool. When I was a kid, that was like the best thing. You could use these walkie-talkies to like spy on each other throughout the neighborhood and keep track of where you were at and what if Mr. Jones was mowing his grass or not. It was a blast. But you put this in here because we're walking with God. And this is a walkie-talkie. Is that why you put it in there? Here, you tell me. Let's see if I got this on. You tell me what you had in mind.
Actually, it was kind of like that, but so we got it because if you're going to walk with God, you kind of have to listen to him and talk to him.
That's right. There are two of them, right? There's someone on the other end, right? And so if I give this to David and I give this one to Emma, right? Now, even if they're 2 miles apart, they can have a conversation, even if they're not seeing each other, right? And so walking with God is also talking with God, and you need to be able to listen, you said, and you need to be able to talk. Well, we say often here at Pathway, a relationship with God is talking, help me, listening repeatedly. And that's what you do when you're having a conversation. Whether you're nearby, and we can talk just like this, you and me talking like this, or we could use a walkie-talkie and go in other rooms. When we want to talk with God, we don't need walkie-talkies. What do we call it? Prayer. Prayer. And it doesn't matter how far we are apart, but we can be walking with God, even though he's in heaven and we're here below. But is he kind of here too? How is he here? How is God with us? What do we have living inside of us that can communicate the mind and heart of God so we can be listening? Yeah, David? Our heart and our faith and the Spirit. The Spirit of God resides in there with us, right? So we can keep this communication of an ongoing conversation with God. And that's how we walk with God, right? When we say walking with God, it doesn't really mean just walking, right? It means living life together, right? Oh, all right. So that's what we have for this morning. Next week's theme is devotion, okay? Devotion, you have to figure out what that means. And I have a list of names of kids who have already taken the cooler here. Is anybody who let's see, had a girl last time. Is there a boy who hasn't had a chance recently to have the cooler? I think most of you have. You had the cooler? Yeah? Want to take the cooler? You're going to be here next week? All right. So tell me your name.
I know somebody never asked.
Tobin, right? Tobin. So Tobin, we need some object in there that you figure out has to do with devotion, okay? The topic of devotion. Can you do that for us? Perfect. Thanks, Tobin. All right, so you guys can go ahead, go back to your seats. You better give that walkie-talkie back to Emma. And would you please stand and greet one another as we continue in our time of worship together? Thank you, Emma.